and it was honestly one of my favourite things I think I've done in any European city. Hi, I'm Mel, welcome back to my channel Journey Through Europe, and today I'm going to be sharing 10 cool things to do in Barcelona. So Barcelona is one of my absolute favourite European cities to visit. I try and visit at least once a year, but on my visits I try and go somewhere different. I try and do something cool, try and experience the city in a different way. So I've been really lucky. I've done some really incredible fun things in Barcelona and I want to share them with you all today. I've also created a page on my website which houses all of my Barcelona recommendations, so beaches to visit, bars I love, restaurants I love, cool museums, cool hidden gems, and of course the 10 things that I'm going to mention in this video. So I'll leave that in the description box below so you can have all of my recommendations in one link in one place on my website. And yeah, let's get going. I'm so excited to share some of the things that I think are really cool to do in Barcelona. I think I've got some really cool things as well, if I do say so myself. So without further ado, let's get going. So the first thing is doing a street art graffiti workshop. So Barcelona is a city that is known for its street art. There's lots of incredible European street artists that live in Barcelona, and they use the city and its walls and the shutters of shops as their canvas. So if you are in Barcelona, you're definitely going to see lots of street art. And I'm a real lover of street art. So the last time I went to Barcelona, I thought, I really want to try and find something cool, something that's street art related. And I kept finding lots of street art walking tours. They'd show you places which had really cool street art, and then I found on Airbnb Experiences an experience with local artist Anderson, and it is an hour and a half, 2 hour long workshop where he takes you to a legal graffiti wall in the El Poble Sec neighbourhood, and he shows you how to actually spray paint and how to graffiti and create your own street art. And by the end of the experience, you have created your own piece of street art. So I'm going to insert some footage of what I got up to. I could not believe it. I'm okay artistically. I'm not an artist. I'm not that artistic. So I thought, oh, there's no way that in an hour and a half workshop I'm going to be able to create a piece of street art and actually graffiti on a wall. But I made these beautiful green and yellow wings, and I did a workshop. It was just 2 of us on the workshop, and the other lovely solo traveller I was with, she did this amazing Barcelona inspired beach, waves and sand, and it was amazing. So it's with a really lovely artist called Anderson. He's lived in Barcelona for years, and he takes you through the process of teaching you a little bit about the history of street art in Barcelona and about what it is like to be a street artist in Barcelona, and then he shows you the different techniques, and then he lets you kind of run wild and run loose, and at the end of it you've created your own piece. So this is one of my absolute favourite things. If you have an afternoon, if you have a couple of hours spare in Barcelona in your itinerary, definitely click the link in the description. I'll add the link to the Airbnb Experience workshop so you can buy tickets for it. He does them throughout summer. He's got lots of different times he does them, and it was honestly one of my favourite things I think I've done in any European city. So my second fun thing to do in Barcelona is to climb to the top of Barcelona's Cathedral. So in Barcelona's Gothic quarter, there's this amazing Gothic cathedral, and you have to pay to enter, but a lot of people don't realise that as well as being able to enter to see the amazing cathedral that's inside, you can actually climb up to the top and climb to the roof of the cathedral, and from there is incredible views. So it's quite a few steps. It's not nearly as many steps as if you were to climb the towers of the Sagrada Familia, for example, or other churches in different European cities like the Duomo, but it is definitely worth it. There is usually a queue, so when you enter into Barcelona's Cathedral, you'll see on the left hand side there's a queue, and they'll let up maybe like 15-20 people at a time up the stairs because it's quite narrow, and you can spend as much time as you want on the top. I had visited Barcelona's Cathedral before, and I thought, oh, it's probably not worth taking the steps up to the top, but genuinely I did it, and the views from the top are incredible. You can see the Sagrada Familia, you can see out to Barceloneta Beach and all the different rooftops and the buildings around Barcelona, and the weather is usually amazing in Barcelona, so it is so worth it to climb up there and to get some really beautiful photos. So I definitely say, if you have a chance, do it early in the morning when you've still got some energy in your legs, you're not too tired, and afterwards you can get out and go and get yourself a nice tapas or get yourself a nice drink in one of Barcelona's bars in the Gothic quarter. So it's definitely worth it, and definitely add it to your list. My third thing to do in Barcelona that's pretty cool is to visit Barcelona's Censored Art Museum. So this opened back in 2023, so it's a relatively new museum, and it is honestly very unique because it is dedicated to pieces of art and works of art that have been prohibited or censored or denounced from being displayed. They've been taken down from display from other galleries, and in this museum they've given them a space to actually exhibit their pieces of work that have been perhaps censored or denounced in their countries of origin, or they've been taken down from display in other museums. So it's very, very interesting. It's very unique. There's 200 pieces on display. There are installations. There are, more normal kind of conventional pieces of art in there, really amazing like multimedia installations and pieces of modern art. They're mainly from the 20th and 21st century, so if you are a real modern art lover like I am, you will find this museum really interesting. They've got a really great gift shop as well. They've got some really fun prints and things, so even if you don't want to enter into the museum, definitely pop by to their gift shop because there's some really cool funky souvenirs that you could get for art lovers. If you're in Barcelona, want to get a cool souvenir. I spent ages in there. I had the best time visiting it. I always recommend it to people. If you're open-minded, you love art, definitely check it out. And it's definitely one which isn't as well known, so it's a lot less busy compared to some other museums in Barcelona, and there's some really cool, interesting pieces in there as well. My fourth fun thing to do and cool thing to do in Barcelona is to take a sunset boat trip. So there are lots of boat trips that leave Barcelona throughout the day. There's lots of companies running them on quite big boats and catamarans that will take you on, a 45-minute or hour-long trip. But I would say if you want to do something that's a little bit more intimate or unique, is to look and see if you can do a timed with sunset boat trip on one of Barcelona's sailing boats that leave from the port. I did one back in December 2023 when I was in Barcelona for Christmas, and it was honestly amazing. The sunset, I had a video, the sunset that we saw from that boat, because they're able to really get to the points where you have just the most beautiful sunset across Barcelona, was incredible. There was only about 6 of us on the boat trip that I had signed up for. It was a lovely sailing boat. It was a local couple that had a sailing boat in Barcelona, and they take tourists and locals out on sunset boat trips. There was unlimited, they had some nibbles, and then they had unlimited cava as well, and soft drinks and beers. And it was a really great way to spend like an hour and a half taking in the sunset. There was lots of opportunities to take photos and to kind of just get away from the crowds, because a lot of people do like to go to Barceloneta Beach to watch the sunset. There's a great golden hour there. That's something I've done before. But if you just want to have something that's a little bit more unique, then definitely check it out. If you are a little bit of someone that does get seasick, I would say definitely try and find one of the sunset boat trips that's on larger boats, like the larger catamarans, because I did one on the sailing boat and it wasn't too choppy, but there were times when it was a little bit choppy, and a few people on the boat were like, oh, it's quite difficult if you're someone that gets quite motion sick. So that is something to think about. But definitely, if you love catching a great sunset and you love sailing and love being on boats, then definitely book yourself a sunset boat trip if you're in Barcelona. So the fifth cool thing to do in Barcelona is to try a traditional Cacaolat milkshake. So Cacaolat is a Catalan milkshake, it's a chocolate milkshake, and it was created in 1933 in Barcelona. So there is an amazing cafe called Gran Havia, which has been serving Cacaolat milkshakes since 1933. It's in the Raval district. It's about a 5-10 minute walk from the Boqueria market if you're visiting that area. And I would definitely say, I'm a massive foodie. Lots of the tips that I share on here are about food, but honestly, it is just the most refreshing, yummy chocolate milkshake. You can have it either hot or cold, and usually serve it with heaps of whipped cream on top. So I went to Gran Havia to try this traditional Catalan milkshake, and it was glorious. It was delicious. So definitely I would say, especially on a hot day in Barcelona, having a really nice, refreshing Cacaolat is just perfect. And I would definitely say, if you want to try it, definitely try and get to Gran Havia. They've been serving it there for nearly 100 years. They opened in 1933, and it is the perfect place to try a traditional Cacaolat. Number 6 is visiting the Moco Museum. So much like the Censored Art Museum in Barcelona, it's one of Barcelona's newer museums, and it is again dedicated to modern art. They have some amazing pieces in there, from Salvador Dali, Banksy's in there. They have Basquiat's, Andy Warhol's. So if you are a massive street art, modern art fan, contemporary art fan, then definitely add this one to your list, as well as the Censored Art Museum that I mentioned a little bit earlier on in this video. Their tickets system is that it's a little bit cheaper if you buy a ticket in advance online. So if you know you want to visit, even if it's on the day, you know, I want to be visiting this afternoon, I want to visit at 2 p.m, definitely buy it a few hours or a few days or weeks in advance, because it's slightly cheaper. I think it's 2 or 3 euros cheaper if you get your ticket in advance. An amazing museum, takes you about an hour and a half to get through. And again, just like the Censored Art Museum, they have a great gift shop. And it's great because even if you don't want to pay for entry into the museum, you can still enter into their gift shop and get prints and books about art and really great souvenirs, again, for contemporary art lovers. So definitely, as well as the Censored Art Museum, add the Moco Museum to your list as well. On the topic of modern art, number 7 is to visit the Kiss Mural. So the Kiss Mural is this beautiful mural that was created in 2014 by a local Barcelona artist. It is really near to Barcelona's Cathedral, and the full name of the mural is "The World Begins with Every Kiss." And what is so beautiful about the mural, personally, I think, is that the tiny tiles, it's made out of thousands of tiny ceramic tiles, and each of those ceramic tiles is a photograph that was submitted by a Barcelona resident. And it's just a mural which is all about celebrating human connection and love and unity and freedom. It is also a really great place to get a unique Instagram photo, or a really unique photo if you're a couple or your friends in Barcelona. Usually there's a little bit of a queue to get a cute photo with the mural behind you, but if you're visiting that area, it's really close to Barcelona Cathedral, about 5 minutes around the corner. Definitely check it out. I think it's just got such a beautiful history, and it's such a beautiful mural. So definitely add it to your list, because lots of people miss it, and it's such a great place to take a photo. The art theme continues with number 8, which is to visit some of Barcelona's beautiful art galleries. So especially in the El Born district, in the Gothic quarter, there are lots of just stunning art galleries which are showcasing lots of Barcelona and Spanish artists' art. Maxo Art Gallery is a great one to pop into. They have a really cool photo booth. They got a few locations around Barcelona, and they got a funky photo booth for €3 where you can get yourself 2 prints of you and some of your friends in the photo booth. There's also Base Elements, which specialises in street art and modern art. And then there's also Maison Cactus, which is a really fun one as well. But as I said, as you're wandering around Barcelona, especially in that El Born district, there's lots of tiny shops selling beautiful art and trinkets, and especially art which is inspired by Barcelona as a city. So again, another great thing to do if you want to get yourself a really great piece of wall art or a really fun souvenir for your time in Barcelona. Number 9 is to visit Barcelona's Gothic market. So if you're in Barcelona on a Thursday, because it only happens every single Thursday, there's a Gothic market which happens right outside Barcelona's Cathedral. So there's 20 to 30 stalls, all run by local people, that sell vintage jewellery and postcards and coins and cards and matches and historical photos. They all have amazing stalls full of vintage items, and it is popular with both locals and tourists. So this is one that, again, if you happen to be visiting Barcelona on a Thursday, definitely add it to your list. Perhaps before or after you visit Barcelona's Cathedral, pop by to that Gothic market, pop by the stalls, have a mooch, have a wander, and maybe you can end up with a really cool piece of vintage memorabilia from Spain. Number 10, last but not least, is to visit one of Barcelona's rooftop bars. So Barcelona has some incredible rooftop bars. The one which I love, which is probably one of the most popular ones, and there usually is a queue to get in, is the rooftop on top of the Ola Hotel in Barcelona. But there's lots of really great rooftop bars. There is La Isabela, which is on top of another hotel in La Rambla, and there's quite a few around the Sagrada Familia area as well. So definitely, if you have a little bit of time, especially if you're visiting in summer and spring when the days are a little bit longer, definitely take an opportunity to find a rooftop bar and go up and have a drink and have some food and take in Barcelona from above, because I think there is something so magical and special about seeing a city from above and seeing it from a completely different angle, as well as then also seeing it through the streets as well. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I've loved putting together my 10 cool, fun things to do in Barcelona. As I said, I've made a page on my website which has all of these recommendations and things to do all on one page, as well as some of my tips and tricks of visiting Barcelona and some of my favourite restaurants, bars and things to do and places to eat. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Definitely subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!